In this question, we are given that ABCD is a rectangle. So we can just say that all these angles in this diagram is all 90 degrees. Okay. And we need to find out whether the area of triangle ABE. So in this case, I can write area of triangle ABE is equal to half. Base is BE and height is AB. Now this area, is this greater than 25 or not? So is this value greater than 25? And that is what I need to find out. And I don't have any other information with me. At the max, I can say that is BE into AB greater than 50 if I have to write it, but nothing else that I can do about it. No other pre-analysis is possible. So keeping just this in mind, what I'll do is I'll move on to the individual statements. Okay, so I'll move to step 2, where I'll look at statement 1, which is AB is equal to 6. Okay, so I know this is 6. Now using this, all I can say is that area of triangle ABE is equal to half into 6 into BE. But I don't know, and this is nothing but 3 into BE, right? At the max, that is what I can do, but I don't know this value. And it could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 5, it could be 100. I don't know anything about it. That means statement 1 is not sufficient, right? And if this is not sufficient, then our answer cannot be A, it cannot be D. Now, let's move on to the second statement. The second statement is, and since we are analyzing just the second statement, it makes sense to remove all these things and simply focus on the part where AE is 10. So this part is 10. Now, once again, we may end up ignoring this, but just as the way we wrote all this, let's write something down and see what can, if anything can be done or not. Now, if AE is 10 and AE is the hypotenuse in this case, we can say that AB square plus BE square is equal to 10 square, right? Or 100. 10 square is 100, so let's write it directly as 100. Okay. Now what? So we can see that the sum of the squares of these two is 100. Can we use this to figure out what will be the area, which is half? Can we figure out the product BE into AB? Anything about the product? Well, there's one small thing that you can do. Remember that whenever you are given the sum of some two values, say, and this is again from the learning purpose, say x plus y is equal to say 4, okay, and you want to find out what is the maximum value of x into y. How do you do that? You usually try in this way, and again x and y are say positive integers. For example, what will you do? You'll do something like this: 1 3 2 2 3 1, right? And you'll see 1 into 3 is 3, 2 into 2 is 4, and again 3 into 3 is 3. So yes, you can see that the value is maximum when both of them are equal, right? And you can try this with any other values also. Even if you take this as say 7, does not matter. If I 1 into 1 6 would give you 1 into 6 6, 2 5 will give you 10. You'll notice as and when they come close. So for example, if I take 4 and 3, that is 12, and that is the maximum value that the product can go. After that, the value again would switch. But the idea here is that the product is maximized when x and y are as close or as equal as possible. That's the learning that you need to keep in mind. Okay, they should be as close or as equal as possible. Now in this case, if a square plus b square is 100, the sum is 100, similar to this. Okay, we can say that the product BE into AB will be maximum when they are AB and B are as close as possible. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll simply assume the values of AB and B to be equal and then see what happens. Okay, so let me remove this and let me assume AB be equal. So in this case, I'll get 2 of AB is equal to 100. You can cancel out, you'll get 50, or AB is equal to root over 50, right? Let's make this even better, root over 50. Okay. So here, when you find out the area, what will you write? Half root 50 into root 50, which is equal to half 50, which is equal to 25. And that means the product is maximum. If the product is maximum when they are equal, that means the area that you are getting is also the maximum. That means the area cannot exceed 25. That is the maximum value that you can get. Now you may wonder, why are we doing all this? Well, we are doing all this because if the question is it greater than 25 or not? Is the area greater than 25? Now if somehow we prove that the area of maximum value is 25, it cannot exceed 25, then we are able to answer a question that no, AB is ABE, area of triangle ABE is not greater than 25. The maximum that it can be is 25. So triangle, all we can say is that AB is less than equal to 25, nothing else. Okay, and from this, since this statement is sufficient, we'll say the correct answer is option B. Now this is a slightly tricky question, and there are a lot of learning out here, and one of the most important learning here is that if the sum is constant for two values, say x plus y is something, and if you want to maximize the product of x into y, then you need to make x and y as equal as possible. Okay, and in that, when you make them equal, the product becomes maximum. In this case, b into e, when they are equal, is the maximum. That is why the area that you're getting here is the maximum possible value. Okay. Now there is one small query that you might have in your mind, and I think that it's best to clear it now only. There's a possibility, and this is a very rare possibility, that when you take the value here, and let me just scroll down a bit. Now say for example, and this is again a hypothetical scenario just to make you explain something. For example, if you would have got something like this, AB square plus B square is say 120. Okay, and you do AB square is equal to 120 or AB is equal to root 60. You get something like this. So when you find out the A max, you get half into 60, right? Which is 30. Now notice here you will be able to say that A max is less than equal to 30, right? Now since A max is less than equal to 30 and you need to prove whether the area is greater than 25 or not, there is a chance that it will be, but there is a chance that it might not be also, right? So if you get a value which is greater than 25 here in A max, then in this case you won't be able to answer using statement 2. And understand why. You won't be able to answer using statement 2 because the maximum area that you get is 30. So the value can be 30, 29, 25, 24, 20. The value can be anything. The maximum is 30. So the area can be 25, greater than 25, like in these cases, but the area can be less also, like in these cases. Okay, since there are both the possibilities, that is why if in such a scenario you would have said statement 2 is not sufficient. In this case, we will set it for sufficient because the area was not exceeding 25. That is the max it can go. So we were confident that A will never be more than 25, and that is what we were trying to answer. Okay, so to keep both these scenarios in mind, in most of the cases you will be facing this scenario only. But however, just in case you come up with like this, you should know what you need to do. Okay.